Hi, my name's Steve, my business partner Austin, and today we're going to be looking at newsletter ideas and what works good for bookkeepers. So I know we've mentioned this before, but I want to stress this. A lot of bookkeepers don't like to make lists and that kind of thing, to build an email list, and because it is a little bit time consuming, and that part's true. But what the part we always like to try to hammer home is that the list is actually your list. It's your permanent list. It cannot be taken away. It's not like your social media, your Instagrams, all those where you're at their whim and mercy. Even if you're on, let's say you got a booming Facebook page, Facebook might change their algorithm at some point, and I would be willing to bet sometime in the next 10 years something will change like that could really adversely affect your business. And when and if that happens, now you're in trouble. Now you've got to scramble. But this email list is yours, and that's very, very valuable and very powerful. So it's the only one out of all the social medias, and it's not actually social media, but all the social medias are not yours. This is one that absolutely is yours. And you can turn a cold client into a customer by the time they're done reading your stuff. So that's valuable. You're They say it takes an average person 6 to 7 times of seeing an ad for something that's a substantial purchase, and I would consider bookkeeping to be a substantial one before they're going to buy. So if you were Andy U here,
He's
and
sponsored.
and yeah, he's sponsored, but I'm still going to click on his thing. So he's going to get one shot at me here, and either I buy his stuff off of this or I don't. And if he's on your list, if he would have something for us to sign up for his list, he can get to us at 6 or 7 times. And he is a sponsored one, so I usually don't go to those. And bookkeeping, booming bookkeeping business. I believe they're trying to sell a course. Yeah, they sure are. So that's another one we're not going to pay attention to. Brings us all the way down to here, South Bay Accounting. And you can see what we're missing a lot here. I know you guys have watched enough of this to recognize that the problems here. But in fairness, I will give him credit for he did get his community in there. South Bay. I'm not sure if that's a name of his area or what, but I know you guys all recognize no call to action. At least I hope you were screaming at the screen. There's no call to action there, because that's exactly what I would be looking for you to say at this point in time. So we're going to look through the 10 type of newsletter ideas for bookkeepers that work very good. Number one, the one money mistake email. And that's one that is a true and trusted one that bookkeepers have used forever. Pick one common mistake that you see bookkeepers make and put it in there. Um, like mixing their personal and business expenses is a perfect one. Explain it to them, explain why that's so problematic that you can't commingle these funds, and that's a big one. Right off the bat, we can use that. Number two, the monthly financial checklist. Give subscribers a simple checklist they can use right now. 5 things to do in your books before the end of the month. Very practical, shareable. And the end of the month, check in with them. Did you do that? And if you did, send me an email back. Let me know how that went. The more you converse with these people back and forth, the more trusted you become, and the more they're going to read your stuff every single time. Very valuable. If you can get that going back and forth, that is going to be worth something, and will get you some clients. A client story, and you don't need to name names. So if you're South Bay Accounting and you work with some of these businesses out here, uh, I don't have too many other businesses that because I searching bookkeepers, but you get the idea that let's just say Cassandra Corp isn't a bookkeeping service, which we know they are. You give a little thing that you worked with a business from this area, and they had 18 months of transactions that they didn't categorize even one you worked with them for this week and you've turned their business around. And you're also going to save them a boatload of money at tax time. These are great stories that people want to hear. And if they resonate with it, they may be your next customer. The myth busting. And I know Austin's talked about this myth busting too. We see a lot of myth busting posts that are basically telling you the thing that you already know to be true. So that we're not breaking any myths. They're just, such as we'll see something like, they're going to break the myth that accounting and bookkeeping are two different things. Everybody says they're the same thing. Well, we know people don't say that. But I think I saw one of those recently. So make it a real myth that you think most people think, and that you've got a better idea for it. This one's not horrific, but something like, you don't need a bookkeeper until you make six figures. Is that true or false? And something like that. And most people are going to probably still know the answer to that, but if they're interested in clicking there, now you've got something. Seasonal tax calendar reminders. These are excellent. Quarter 1 deadlines, estimated tax due dates, year-end prep, all that stuff. Owners forget this stuff constantly. Be the one who reminds them, and you become indispensable. They count on you. They trust you. They're going to go to you when they want to pay somebody to do the books. All right, that was 1 through 5. I'm going to turn it over to Austin for 6 through 10.
Another one you can do is a tool, the app spotlight. So share like a tool you recommend, like, I don't know, like QuickBooks, I guess. That's kind of a generic answer. It's all I can think of. And explain why. And owners love practical software recommendations from someone they trust. Number 7, a behind the scenes look. Like, what does your actual process look like? Walk them through how you onboard a client, clean up messy books, or run a month end close. It demystifies what you do. 8, the Ask Me Anything edition. So you're collecting questions from clients or social media and you answer 2 or 3 in the newsletter. It's easy to write, it's high engagement, and shows you're accessible. Number 9, industry news in plain English. So the new IRS rule, 1099 change, mileage rate update. Translate it into simple language your audience understands. Be their filter for confusing financial news. Number 10, your opinion. Take a stance on something, like why I think cash basis accounting is fine for most small businesses. People follow people, not information, so show some personality. So weekly or bi-weekly beats monthly, because monthly people just forget about. You can do short wins, like 150 to 300 words is good. One idea per email. You don't cram everything in. Same send day. Like if you send on a Tuesday, do it every week or every other week. And you can just do plain text because it often outperforms fancy templates because it feels more personal. You want to finish it up?
Yeah, so Austin again described this really good. His stuff has been coming in a little bit better than mine, I would say, these last couple ones. But the whole point of this is we're trying to get to the cold customer. We want to work the warm customers for sure, but these cold customers are going to be the ones that really make or break your business. You probably maybe can get a few cold ones, but you're going to need a bunch more business to really make your bookkeeping business work. In order to do that, we're going to need some of these other businesses to come in for us. So that's all I've got for you today. Thank you for watching. Please remember to subscribe, like. It really helps us a lot. We'll see you tomorrow.